Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. It's Belinda here from Visualized NZ. Are you ready for another Deal It Up challenge? I am, so let's get right into it. So, as usual, my 3 sets of cards here. So, I'm going to get straight into pulling the cards that are going to be our prompts. So, let's start with this pile. Oops, fumble. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I had quite a nice weekend. Right, top card it is, fibers. Okay, second pile. Yeah, it was been quite a good weekend. Relatively quiet. Went to the farmers. No, we didn't go to the farmers market this weekend. That was last weekend. Gosh, weeks are blurring together. Right, let's go middle of the pack. Envelope. Okay, and our final prompt. So hopefully you all did something lovely, had a nice relaxing weekend or an exciting weekend. Okay, I'm going to take the bottom card this time, just because I can. Grungy. Ooh, we haven't had grungy before, so that's interesting. Okay, as usual, I'll just pop you on hold while I gather together my supplies and be right back to make something. Hang on a tick. Right, I am back. So I've gathered my supplies and I'm going to work with a new envelope just because it's what I felt like working with. First up, I am going to work with my fibers. So I'm going to pop a glove on here and I'm going to grungy up the string a little bit. And I don't really feel like getting really grubby fingers, so I thought a glove might be a good idea. So I've got my vintage photo distress ink and I'm just going to kind of roll it around a bit in the ink and get it looking a bit dirty, bit grubby, bit grungy. Now it's up to you how grungy you make things. You don't have to go all out. You can just add a grungy element, or you could do the whole thing in a grungy style. Completely over to you. So if grungy's not your thing, don't be afraid. Just do a grungy element, and it might just be the string that you do in a grungy manner. See, that would have stained my finger. Really gross. Okay, so that's the vintage photo, and now I'm going to go with my black and just add a little bit here and there. So I'm not going to do a whole heap, just to add to that sort of grungy, grimy sort of look. And I'm doing it first so that it's got a little bit of time to dry, hopefully, before I'm trying to use it. Okay, just get it a bit darker in some spots. Make sure the ends are nice and grungy. I don't even know if I'll need to use the whole bit of string, but here we go. You can always save it for another project. So now I can hopefully dispense with the glove for now, and hopefully it dries before I need to handle it again. Right, so our envelope. I thought I would use some jelly prints. Jelly prints are a really good thing that can often be grungy, and I've got this one that's super grungy, but I'm not super in love with it either, and I thought I could use that, but it's not really speaking to me. I think it's too grungy for me today, and I think too much of it would just be dull and horrible rather than cool and fun. This bit's not too bad. I don't mind it. It's got a bit more colour in it. It's got some blue and green and orange and that sort of thing. It's definitely got a grungy vibe. There's this little offcut, which has got more the distressed grungy look. And then there's this bit that has like a peeling paint effect. So like there's, because part of being grungy is about being dilapidated. So you could imagine that this is the side of a building that's really old, hasn't been painted in forever, and the paint's peeling and what have you. And I just really like this bit. So this is what I'm going to use, and I want to turn my envelope into a page flip flap thingy, what have you, I don't know what to call it, where it will attach to the side of a page like so, and open up for a little pocket here, and then write decoration or writing space or something there, and then possibly a tick on this side if I so choose. So that's my plan on how this envelope is going to be used. So first up, I want to decorate this flap here, because I don't want it to be boring, and that's where I thought I might use this bit of jelly print. I'll just pop the others out the way, take off this edge here, and how wide do we need it? I'm wondering whether the width of the ruler is about right. Slightly too much. So let's take it. Oops, oops, oops. Not that much. It's sticking to the texture of the jelly print a little bit. It's a bit hard to move. I think that's about right. And put it right against this edge. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go right to there. I can always put something else there, a bit of washi tape or something. There, I like that. So just going to tear a little bit off the ends because it's a bit long, and I'll need to cut around the shape of the flap. Right, glue stick, and let's glue it on. So I hope you give it a go, even if grungy is not your thing. Like, it's good to try things every now and then, even if you don't think it will be your thing. It's good to go out the comfort zone every now and then. And if you still don't like it, that's fine. It's absolutely fine. Right, so I'm going to trim around to the shape of the envelope flap. I should be sticking these in my collage book, but I just can't be bothered at the moment, and that's okay. I'm just going to throw them out. Oh, did I say that? That's terrible. Don't tell on me. Right, so there's our flap. Now it is sticky on the other side, and I don't want it to be sticky, so I need to cover it. Oops. And I've got my bag here of paper offcuts from when I'm cutting out photos and things that I've printed off. So I'm just going to grab a strip of that. Is this one long enough? Not quite. Should be a strip here that's long enough. This one, yep, that one's long enough. Because if we do want to use it as tack, then we don't want it sticky, and that's going to stop things sliding in. And if we end up gluing it down, well, there's no harm in a little bit of reinforcing. Actually, I'm going to take the other end, because this got a little bit bent up in my bag, so I might as well glue down the bent up bit now. Oops, about there. Glue that down. Should have put my string somewhere else, because now I want to use the glue book and I'm having to move the string here and there and everywhere. Right, oops, and I've got glue all over the show. Ugh. Yucky, yucky, yucky. Right, and up, straight-ish. Not that it's going to be seen, it's not critical that it's straight, but I want it to cover the sticky part. Right. Just need to clean up that glue that's on that side. Right, there we go. So that's the flap dealt with. So again, just to show you, so that's going to sit on your page, flip open for a pocket, and I do this periodically too, so I remind myself where I need to cover up things, where I need to decorate, or change something. And then over here, so this gives us a nice strong place if we want to use it as a tuck spot on the side there. Whereas if we didn't cover it and back it with that paper, then it could rip or tear over time with use. So one little bit done, and I think that's grungy. I'm going to call it grungy anyway. Right, just getting a wee sip of my tea. Gluey fingers. Right, so it flips that way. So in here, I think I want to cover over this with something. And I'm thinking of more envelope of a different pattern, just for something a little different, or a little play on the inside of the envelope. Just looking for a different pattern in my bag of scraps here, because I've got quite a bit of this pattern, but I want a different one, and I know I've got some different ones if I can find them. Come out, wherever you are. Ah, here we go. Found a few. So let's go with this one. Right. So I'm not going to do the whole piece. I'm going to leave the top piece so that there's still a contrast between the two different types of interiors. I'm going to go far enough in so it goes inside the envelope rather. And go about there. And then that will tuck inside. I'm just going to test that it fits. And sit it down somewhere like that. Yep, and I think that's just a bit interesting, and maybe I'll give that a little bit of an inked edge just to give it that slight grunge-esque feel, but you certainly don't need to. You could just go with something like the string as your grungy element if that's what you prefer. Grungy is not a style I do myself very often. There's elements of grunge in what I do, but I don't usually go all out grungy. So I am pushing myself a little bit to try and go a bit more grungy than what I would normally go. And I'll either like it or I won't. But when you're just going with one element, you can still use it anywhere. You know, you can slot it into a project somewhere. Right, I managed to get some glue on the front of that, so the white down. Here we go. So I keep flipping it around, but it flips this way. I'm getting myself all confused. So I'm going to glue this flap down. I might use tacky glue so I don't get a mess everywhere with the glue stick. Just make a nice big opening for putting a journal card or a wee notebook or something inside this pocket. Okay, so glue that one down. And maybe some writing paper, something to write on. So let's go in our bag here of writing bits. It's kind of a little grungy. It's been cabbage dyed from memory. And it's not super dark, but there's just like little, I don't know if you can see in the camera, just little grungy bits here and there. So I think we'll use that as our little writing spot. Oh, it's quite thick paper too. it's quite tough to tear. Right, so I'm going to ink around this again for the grunge factor. Not worrying about getting ink all over the front because that just adds to the effect. And in fact, I'm going to just grubby it up a bit as well. Okay, and I'm going to tacky glue it on. So let me know, is grungy something you do a lot of or not at all? Is it your style, your thing? Do you do little bits here and there as you feel like it? It's definitely a look, isn't it? It's a style. One day maybe I'll embrace it and do an all grungy journal. That could be quite fun actually. Right, I'm just going to see if I can get in there and give that a bit of ink along that edge. This is where your distress inks can really come in handy to aid you in getting that grungy look. Don't actually need to do the inside of that, but never mind, it's done now. Do the outside of this one. Oops, I think I need some more ink. That's better. That's nice and darker. Right, and I think I'm just going to ink along this edge and that will hide that white. So it'll look good as gold. Right, and around the edge here. I'm inking everything, guys. I'm going to town on the ink. Here we go, and just put some in here as well. Just because, you know, we're going grunge. Might as well go grunge. And this is just me. Like, if you don't like that much grunge, don't. Right, so that flips there. We can pop our little journal card or something in there. That's all good. So now we just need to decorate the front. So let's see what we might like to do. We could do a bit more of this. I think I'll take off this edge here that's a bit boring. And then I feel like doing a nice tear, and I'm going to tear it so that the white comes on the bit that I want to use. So you guessed it, I can ink it and add some more grunge. Quite straight, that's all right, something like that. Do a bit of some paper bag. It's almost the right size to cover the whole thing. Let's trim it down a little bit. Oops, tearing straight. It doesn't want to tear straight. We just stick that on, call that grungy. But no. I'm having fun, guys. It's fun to play. And I'm just enjoying the play. Okay, something like that. And what I want to do, because this has all been scrunched up, it's a paper bag that I've cut up and used bits of, but it's all been scrunched up. So I'm going to scrunch it up even more. And give it a nice squish, squish, squish. Open it out. And not spread it a little flat, I guess, because I do want it to be able to be written on. And then I'm going to need some more ink. run my sponge over and try and catch those crease hills and dirty them up a bit. Like so. How's that looking? You reckon that looks suitably grungy? I think that's suitable. Right. I need to get rid of this glue page because it's very sticky. And then we can put our string aside to finish drying. We're almost to the stage where we need to do our string, put our string on. Now this is going to flatten out a lot of those creases, but the ink will still make them stand out. So right, bit of texture going on there. Use some tacky glue for this bit. Gosh, I don't really have much to say. I'm sitting here trying to think, what can I talk about? What can I tell you? Ages ago we watched Vampire Diaries, like probably a few years ago now. It's something we'd avoided watching because we're not really into sort of vampire scene or that type of thing. But we really enjoyed it, and recently we started watching it from the beginning again. And I've got to say, I am enjoying it. It's a good story. It's been well done. It's interesting. It's not scary or, you know, any of that. It's just fantasy, and yeah, just quite enjoying it. Right, so I've got this little gap down here, which I'm not overly fussed on. So let's maybe put a little number down there. Let's see if we've got a grungy number. Right, is that the right size? Or we've got some on brown paper. No, too similar. A coffee dried bit of paper. Have we got a torn one? What about this one? This one's on torn book page. Yep, I think that. And if I just ink the edge. It's quite warm this afternoon, and I think my ink's drying on my sponge quite quickly, so hopefully my string is dry too, so I don't get all grubby while I'm working with it. Yep, I like that down there. That's just quite a nice little detail. I'm going to tacky glue it actually, because it might not stick to with glue stick to the paint, the texture of the paint. So let's be assured that it will stay in place by using tacky glue. Like that. Awesome. Right, and now I think it's time to work out what we want to do with our grungy string. Kind of maybe I want to play with it along that line a little bit. I think it's too long, so let's trim it down a bit. Oops. Something like that. I think that's kind of cool. Okay, and for this I'm going to use my premium craft glue because it dries clear. This will dry clear as well, but I just like the hold for this type of thing, this type of application with this one. So let's try and maybe do this a section at a time. So kind of roughly get it where I want it. Like that. And the other program we're watching at the moment is Virgin River. We'd started watching that ages ago and only ever got like 3 episodes in. And we refound it and it was like, why didn't we ever finish this? Because we're really enjoying it. It's fun. So yeah, that's what we're watching at the moment. If you've got any recommendations, feel free to drop them in the comments. We like watching series and you know, at the moment we're having a bit of a binge watch and we've got holiday coming up, so we probably want to have something to binge while we're on holiday as well, in amongst doing fun things, you know. Right, there's my grungy string. Hopefully that shows up all right in camera. You see it, grungy? Right, do I want to add anything else? I've got another bit of string here, the bit I cut off, but could add it. No, too much. Let's just stay with one bit of string. And maybe we want something in here to decorate. So I'm thinking something round. So I thought maybe a ticket of some description. Something like that. What else is in here? This is a bit big, I think. Might trim it down so I can see better. This is on brown paper bag as well. It's got the pattern of the paper bag on the other side. It's a pharmacy bag. It kind of works, but no, I think it's too big. Okay, a black ticket. Nope. Too long. One of these little brown tickets. Yeah, it's not too bad. I'm just playing, taking my time. Oh, here's this premium quality stamp on the pharmacy bag. That might... Oops, I'm dropping things now. Man overboard. No, don't like that one. Let's cut this one out. Round and round, a circle we go. Yep, I don't actually mind that. Let's go with that. Give it some ink. Give it a darker edge. And cover up where I didn't cut very well because I was just rushing. And make it a bit sort of dirty. And let's go in with a little bit of black and give it a little bit of dirt as well. It looked like it's been round since 1912 because that's what the stamp says, premium quality since 1912. So you made it all dirty. There's actually a lot of freedom in making things dirty because you don't have to worry if you accidentally get a bit of glue or ink somewhere, because it's like, hey, that just fits the theme, yay. Now I should have used tacky glue because this may not stick, but give it a go. If it comes off, I will know and be able to glue it on. Right, there we go. There is my envelope. I think I'm going to call that done. So let's just pop it on our page again and see how it looks So obviously I'd put it on a different page than this bubble dyed one with food colouring. This is a bit bright and cheery for the grungy. But we've got our envelope, we have our fibres with our string, and we have grungy with using grungy papers and inks to create the effect. And then grungy here. You could actually put something on this side. Oh, I like that there. Let's put that there. I thought I was finished, but no, I'm not. Let's put this Original Vintage Tools, and this stamp is from the same set as this one, which was just from eBay or AliExpress, somewhere like that, and quite a while ago, but I think you can still get it. There, how's that looking? And then we can just slide in whatever we like into our little flip out pocket there. Cool, I'm happy with that. What do you think? You're going to give it a go? Give this wee challenge a go. So here are our challenge prompts. Fibres, so we've got string here, envelope. We used an envelope, you could make one. I'll use an old one. And grungy. Well, I've certainly gone all out on the grunge. There's what I made. I'd love to see what you make. Have fun, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Bye.